With Martha Teichner this morning, we're heading to Vermont to visit a landmark that's sacred ground for dog lovers everywhere.
Look, it's me.
Girlie, come on. If you want the treat, you have to sit. Sit.
Good girlie. And my dog, Girlie,
Hey, Girlie. That's a perfect name. That's what I call
at
my
Dog Mountain, having a
tail.
good time on a beautiful fall day.
Look at his tail, Girlie.
If Dog Mountain were just a joyful place where dogs can run around or plop into a nice pond, it would still be pretty special. 150 dog-friendly acres in the scenic hills of northern Vermont. But there is much, much more to this story. It's actually a real tearjerker, sweet but sad. It began in 1994 when artist Stephen Huneck was injured falling down a flight of stairs, his injury causing him to develop a rare, often fatal lung condition.
I was dead for like 5 minutes, not breathing. And I was in a coma for over 2 months, and they really pretty much wrote me off.
Huneck and his wife Gwen, more than a decade ago, reliving the nightmare.
I said to myself, well, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to believe he's going to get better.
And he did.
I had to learn to walk again, and my dogs really took care of me. We would go for short walks in the woods, and they really stayed right with me.
His dogs became the subjects of the now famous woodcuts he was finally strong enough to make. His black lab, Sally, featuring in a series of best-selling children's books he wrote and illustrated. And then came his vision.
I remember the moment perfectly, where I had this idea popped into my mind, was build a chapel for dogs and for people.
He built it himself with this sign out front. There are carved dogs everywhere, even a dog angel on top of the steeple. There are dogs inside, some real, some not. The chapel opened in 2000 and is, more than anything, a room full of love. It's overwhelming.
It makes me happy, despite crying, to come back and see, and I feel like this is the place that they're buried, and that we come back and visit every year.
Every inch of every wall, floor to ceiling, has been covered with layers and layers of photographs and messages people have left, mourning the dogs they've lost, and the occasional cat, missing them. Heather Berkey drove 7.5 hours from outside Philadelphia to honor her Vizsla, Lexi, who had died a few weeks before from cancer. She brought some of Lexi's ashes to spread.
You run free. Love you. Love you, Lexi. To have her up here and free. I don't know.
Does it help?
There's no words.
How many places are there where society lets you grieve for a dog with all your heart the way you would a person? The way I have dogs in my life.
Do you believe that dogs go to heaven?
I would like to think yes.
Susan Oladol is an Episcopal priest
I come here almost every day. I volunteer here.
whose ministry includes comforting people at Dog Mountain.
Stephen Huneck has a great whimsical piece of art that's entitled "A Dog Has a Soul," and the dog is holding the shoelace with a shoe attached.
For all the humor in his work, Stephen Huneck struggled with depression. Here's the sad part of this story. Afraid he would have to close Dog Mountain and his gallery as a result of the Great Recession, in January 2010, Huneck died by suicide. 3 years later, his wife, Gwen, took her own life.
You have a place of joy, you have a place of love, but you also have
the suicides of Stephen and Gwen. How do you square that with the wonder of the place?
I don't think they're to be squared. It's only a piece of a story, and the story of what they have left behind, this gift, is where most other people and myself are greatly impacted by.
The Hunecks' dream lives on.
One of the things that the Hunecks kind of realize is every little child that's ever fallen in love with the Sally books, when they get to come to Dog Mountain and actually meet the Sally, it's one of those things that they feel so special.
Amanda McDermott is creative director of Dog Mountain and the person who cares for the current Sally. So this is just like a postcard.
Oh, it's beautiful up here.
There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space.
3 times a year, Dog Mountain has a party.
I'm looking for some dancers out in the crowd today.
Touch, but it wasn't because it didn't.
Hundreds of dogs and their people show up. This one was in October. It was a free-to-all, free-for-all.
Whoops, I'm sorry. That's okay. Girlie!
But in spite of all the playful chaos, I managed a quiet moment to slip into the chapel and find a place to leave my message, to tell the dogs I've lost that I love them still, and hope that wherever they are, they know